Welcome back, my duelist friends. It's Monday, and yes, I know I said we're going to be doing Master Duel Mondays, but I'm going to get that video up here in just a few hours. I still wanted to show off some of my very cool decks from other games, and as you guys could assume from the title of today's video, we're going to go with the Naruto Ccg. Naruto Ccg was pretty cool because this is one of the longer running obviously canceled now, but one of the longer running trading card games based on anime. Again, generally, a game based on an anime, once the source material is gone, the game is gone. And it didn't quite finish out Shippuden. And another quick note before we actually start flipping through these cards. Me and my friends never really played, well, let me correct that. I never played in any actual competitive or like tournament level. So everything I played for this game was casual, even though I would play obviously to win. So we never really observed like the time skip thing that they did between the initial portion of the card game in Shippuden. I believe that there was a rule where you couldn't use the older cards anymore unless they had been reprinted. So it is what it is. This is just how we played. So let's go over this deck. These decks were all 50 cards. And it is what it is. Yeah, so first up, I used 2 copies of the Stage 1 Jirobo. Obviously, no effect text. So again, it plays on 0 turn counter. You didn't need to charge anything in order to play it. And healthy, it was a 4-0. And injured, it was a 1-0. So obviously, he's going to be somebody that you put towards the head of your stack of your characters. Didn't have growth, but again, growth would be a little obscene on a character like him. Next up, we got to get the OG Rock Lee. This character does have growth, so when you play one over the top of another one, you get to charge the initial one as chakra, and also get a 1/1 growth counter on the card. So again, he'd be a 3-0-3-0, healthy and injured. Translates to a 4-1-4-1 when growth. And again, we do not need to wait in order to play this character. We can deploy him as soon as the game begins, since he's worth turn counter 0. We do have the Chibi Sasuke's 4-0-2-0 Sharingan growth, again 0-0, played as soon as the game starts. We have Ino Yamanaka. And again, she's going to be a 1-3-1-1, so she's better as a support. So for those of you who don't understand this yet, teams could be made up of up to 3 characters normally, a head ninja and support ninjas. And so in the stack, the lead ninja counts for the initial value, and support ninjas go by the secondary. So Jirobo backed up by Ino would be a team worth 7 power. Additionally, you're going to notice this one's actually going to have some mental power. And I don't think Sasuke had any, neither did Lee. Mental power was another kind of gimmicky thing that you could do in this game in order to gain an edge by fighting a different way. Next up, we need to play 3 copies of my boy Pakun. It's going to be a 1-0, so you do have to wait till your second turn or later to play this guy. He is going to count as mental power 2. He is going to be an 0-1-0-1, healthy, injured. So again, support character. And valid effect. Valid meaning it works even if he does become injured. His effect, all my in-play ninjas with no effect text get an additional 1-1. It is like a static buff. So again, we do not need to worry about whether or not tokens are in play. So characters with growth can get that extra growth ability anyway. Next up, we're going to be using Tamari. And again, this is going to be a turn counter 1, still 0 cost. Mental power 2-3-0-2. So again, very good, very strong. Going to help up with the team formations. Haku, for those of you who remember like the early portion of the show. This guy can work either way. 5-2 or 3-2. Mental power of 2. Turn counter 2, so turn 3 or later. And you're going to notice ambush, meaning that we can deploy him as a ninja from the chakra area. So again, if we did need to use him to as cost to deploy another card, we could. I don't think we have any water cards in this deck that actually have a cost. But you could always charge him to Chakra if you wanted to play him that way. Then we're going to use Iruka Sensei, Iruka Umino. Mental Power 1, Tuning, 3-2-2-1. His effect is also going to be valid. All ninja in play with effect text, or with no effect text, including ninjas with negated effect texts, will then get a +1/+1. So by having him and Pakun at the same time, all ninja are up to 2. So they're good even as support, even if they're supposed to be mainline. So very good. We do have a third Rock Lee. We chose to go with a later one that has growth. This one will be a 4-2-4-0. So again, injured or healthy, great as a leader. With the growth and the potential of the total +2/2, this guy could be a 7 on turn 3. So again, just fantastic. We're going to use 2 copies of 10-10. She's going to have the Mental Power 3. Going to be a 2-3 healthy and injured. So again, great support for your teams. Just is what it is. We got a pair of Naruto at 3-0. These have growth and clone status. Now, clone status is like saying that I could just deploy it next to him because he's able to create clones. So again, we don't have to wait to play him, but you can growth him instead. So again, instead of a 4-0-7-0, we can get up to the 5/8. And again, with the up to 2 extras, if we were to growth this guy, it'd be 7-10. So again, Naruto, one of the few instances where a card actually gets better as it's injured. Just putting in some work. We are going to use a copy of Sakura. Again, no text means that we could do what we want. It's a 4-3-1-3, great for support. Does have growth. I don't think we were using any other Sakuras though. But again, good on the mental power should our opponent try to influence those types of fights. Next up, Shikamaru Nara. Obviously a heavy hitter when it comes to both support and mental power. This guy's going to have 4 growth. So again, we can increase this by the 1/1 off the growth token. We can also increase it from both Pakun and Iruka. So it's going to be a 2-4-1-4. Always going to play him as support. He is great. And again, he's tuning at that stage. The rest are just going to be some random joning. Real quick, we're going to have Asuma Saratobi up next. Turn counter 4, so turn 5. Mental power 2. No growth. So do keep that in mind. 7-3 or 3-0 injured. And he does exhibit 2 chakra. Now, when they exhibit this, when they are charged as chakra, or they are used to pay the entrance cost for a mission, or the entrance cost of another card, and they still go to the chakra zone, they could be used as either or, not both. So do keep that in mind. And last up, we do have Might Guy, because why not have Might Guy? 7-3 or 7-0, turn counter 5. He's the latest ninja that you could play in this deck. And again, just a taijutsu beast. So let's get our ninjas out of here. We are going to go into our client next. Clients are sort of like ninjas, as they do have to wait for their turn counters to come up. But outside of that, they just sort of sit in play as a continuous card, not really taking part of the battles, but as a permanent. Now, Moroku here has the effect that effect texts of ninjas are negated during the turn they are put in play. Players cannot put in play ninja cards except by deploying them. So no special effects, none of that stuff. It really does help keep your guys in shape early. And again, it was an early turn 0-0. So that's great. Let's talk over the jutsu, because again, jutsu mattered a bunch. These were like the super moves of the card game. First one I'm using is a single copy of Earth Style Earth Dragon Rush, or Earth Dragon Bomb, sorry. And again, I loved it when they did this, like, I don't even know what you'd call it, but like the rainbow text. You pay the cost. Right here, this one's going to be 5 generic, so just any 5 chakra. And once jutsu are used, they go to the chakra zone, so you will charge up 1 Earth after. This costs 1 less for each of your ninjas without effect text. So technically, if you have 5 ninjas and they are all without effect text, you can play this for free. Target. You're going to target 1 ninja battling against the user of this. And the effect would be to injure it. Then if the target has no effect text or the effect text would be negated, it becomes standby. So then you will actually remove it from the combat. So again, that's pretty cool. We're going to use 2 copies of food pills. Again, 2 generic. The target now is going to be the user. The user is going to get an additional 2/2 this turn. Additionally, if it's in injured status, we can heal it. So if it was somebody on the edge, that's great. If not, we can gain the power bonus of the shift to the healed status. So that's good as well. We're going to use 2 copies of Giant Club. This will cast on 1, or I don't think you cast Jutsu, but you know what I'm saying. The target will be 1 ninja battling against the user. This time we're going to give a -2/-2 to the opponent's ninja. And again, if it zeroes them out, it doesn't kill them because it's not that kind of game, but it will make it easier to do damage and critical damage to them. Next up, we're going to have 2 copies of the Ninja Art Tile Shuriken. Again, we're going to cast on 2. This will cast 1 less for every non-effect ninja that we have in play. Target a ninja, attach it to the target. The attached ninja's effect is now negated. So again, if the opponent has a really good effect text, we just want to go ahead and steal that effect, make that null void. We are going to use a single copy of the One Last Punch. Requirements is the ninja must be injured. So again, Naruto uses this a lot. Double the user's original injured printed combat value. Discard the user after the showdown, which is like damage calculation for you Yu-Gi-Oh players. And just real quick, if we go back to the Naruto, that would go from 7 to 14. And then we would just take him out of play and discard him after the fact. So again, pretty cool. But again, since it offs your character, probably use it a little sparingly. We're going to use 2 copies of Unlocking the Seal. This cast on X. Effect, the user gets plus XX during the turn. Then, if X was 3 or less, the user gets the following effect text during the turn. When this ninja wins any victory, you win 1 battle reward. Again, we're not really trying to add effects because it takes away from our effectless strategy. So again, I tend to put everything into it. And then our last one will be the Water Style Syrup Trap. And again, on any random 2, target 1 back ninja battling against the user. The target's power becomes 0/0 during the turn. So, again, this will take out 1 supporter that the opponent's got. And really, hopefully, again, if they got somebody like Shikamaru where they're supporting for 4, that is a huge drop in team combat power. So, again, it's just all about some utility cards. So our jutsu are all just basic utilities. And then we do have about 6-7 missions. Let's go over those. I'll show you the first one. I'll explain how these work. Missions play like supporter cards in the current Pokemon TCG. For the most part, I think you only get 1 of these per turn. And unless they're continuous, they'll play and leave. But if these are limited to 1 per turn, you are going to have to wait till the Shuriken is the turn counter. And of course, the entrance cost must be paid. That'd be 1 card moving from the hand to chakra. And that card must match one of the symbols used on the card. So in this case, it has to be a lightning. So you could use it with an extra copy of Iruka, or even Pakun. Should be Rock Lee, and I believe even Naruto. Even our Miroku could do it. So again, you'll play this, you'll charge 1 card to the chakra to pay the cost, and then you'll provide the effect. So here, exchange all cards in the hand with the same amount of cards from the bottom of the deck, then draw 1. So it'll basically let you freshen up your hand +1. So it was very fun, very useful. We want to pick and choose. We want to get to Pakun, Iruka, and a couple of jutsu as quick as possible. Next, we're going to maximize out on Team Guy. This is a turn counter 2, entrance 1. This one is permanent, so it'll stay in play. The effect is, at the start of my turn, reveal the top card of my deck. If it's a ninja with no text, move it to my hand. This effect cannot be duplicated. And remember, it's the start of the turn, so it's not counting my draw. And then the effect, your ninjas without effect get an additional +1/0, +1 mental power. So again, it behooves us, benefits us to play something a little stronger. And again, this one can use either a lightning or an earth card to pay for that 1 card entrance cost. Last one up, we do have 1 copy Senju versus Uchiha. This is a turn counter 4 or higher, 0 entrance cost, permanent for 1 turn. Effect, when this is put in play, place a coin on it for each of your ninjas without effect text. Effect, the effect text of all non-reinforcement and non-squad ninjas is negated. Now again, at the beginning of every turn, you will take off one of those cards, one of those coins as counters, and count down the permanents. But again, pretty fantastic card, pretty fantastic deck. And again, it was since yesterday we did our speed duel deck to be non-effect dark monsters. I thought that you guys might enjoy this. And again, if you didn't know about the Naruto TCG or CCG, that's also really cool to see. I do have another 17 of these decks if you guys want to see some more Naruto stuff. But this will be it for today. Check back in a little bit. We're going to start doing the Master Duel Monday. And we will go ahead and, honestly, it's been forever. So we're going to check the shop and basically just check and see if there's new stuff to buy. Outside of that, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you tune in for the later bit. If you do like this, do the things. If you don't. Do me the one favor. Try to have a great day. It's the start of the week, my friends. Let's do some stuff, all right? All right, see you in a bit.